Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Aurora Park. Alright, finally, so we're getting some work done on the, what would this be, the fourth area of the park. And it's, you know, I gotta be honest, it's taken me a while to get this area started because I just haven't been able to really nail down, I guess, a style or a theme for this. You know, I took it to like you guys and Twitter, you know, a few months ago and said, what should I do? And we kind of talked about maybe doing like a sort of futuristic kind of mining theme. And I tried to do that. I tried, you know, coming up with some stuff, and I just couldn't really nail down the theme the way I wanted. So I decided to start completely over. And so I think I came up with a theme that I'm happy with, and I am looking forward to get started with you guys. So first of all, you may notice we have a new roller coaster, and that's this gigantic blue guy here, which I don't have a name for him yet, but maybe, you know, by the end of the video, you guys will have sort of an idea for a video. So this roller coaster serves sort of as, you know, it has two purposes. One, well, maybe more, maybe two, three purposes. One is because, you know, it's a roller coaster and we need to have more roller coasters in the park. Two, it is serving as the weenie for our park. Yes, you've probably heard me talk about how Aurora Park was in need of a weenie, which, if you're not familiar with theme park lingo, a weenie is basically sort of the thing that draws your eye. The best example I can always give is Cinderella's castle at Disneyland or Disney World. So this is going to serve as our weenie because you can see it. It's basically, it's pretty centered in the park, and you can see it from anywhere in the park. So as you're like, you know, you're way back here, you're just walking into the park. It's one of the first things you see. You can see it from, you can see it from, obviously, if you're in like a dome, it looks pretty sweet off in the distance, or like over here. Looks very cool. Or if you're over here in like Smuggler's Den area, you can see it from pretty much anywhere. We head down kind of guest level, about right there. A little bit higher, but you can see it from there. Or, you know, say we take a walk over here and look back, oh, you can still see it. Or even if you're like over here, this is a new little part of this area that showed you guys in the last video. You can see it off in the distance. So, you know, I think it makes a pretty good weenie. It sounds it's such a funny word to use as that, but that's what it means in theme park lingo, and so that's what we're using. The other thing is, so what I decided to do with this area is, all right, so this first, like our main street is sort of like, the buildings are sort of supposed to be like modern-esque, and they've sort of been retrofitted, you know, with more sci-fi futuristic parts. We have Smuggler's Den, you know, which I've said many times is the Fallout / Greedy Star Wars kind of theming to it. So this area, which I don't have a name for yet, is gonna be, it's gonna be just like full-on future sci-fi. So buildings that, you know, they've been built way in the future. They're, you know, everything's very metal and very cold and lots of neon. And to sort of illustrate that effect, we switch it to nighttime. So you can see, you know, the base for, you know, each of these towers. It's very metal. It's very shiny. It's got a lot of blue lights. I even added blue lights, which they're actually signs, in each of the towers. And the other cool thing is we can get this going, is there's some actual triggered effects on each of these towers. And this is where maybe you guys can help me come up with a name. So we're gonna see it as the roller coaster starts to get pulled up into the first tower here, and the first trigger should be coming up here, and there it goes. So I have all these little guys right here. They're little electricity effects, and I basically set up the trigger sequence as such as so it's supposed to look like the electricity is kind of like pulsing up the tower, and each tower does that. So every time the coaster kind of comes up the tower, it sets off the trigger. So you can see that one right there is going off as well. And I thought that looked pretty cool, you know, like you should actually see it again as the roller coaster drops. So you can kind of see it there. And it's just supposed to, you know, it's supposed to just be a cool little effect. You know, also the fact that these two towers are acting as the weenie for the park. So, you know, if you're a guest way off in the distance and you see, you know, the electricity kind of pulsing up and down the towers, you know that the roller coaster is active, and it's just one of those things. But yeah, so kind of as a little concept here, I kind of threw together two little, I guess, like sci-fi buildings here, and just to give you guys sort of a concept of what, you know, kind of what I want to do with it. And, you know, so like for instance, here, let's turn it back to daytime just so it's a little bit easier to see. So like, first of all, those are doors right there, so you can see them popping out. They should hopefully stop. I don't know. I have it. Okay, good. I have it. You can set things like doors to always be closed. So if you don't ever want them to open, like you're just using them for scenery. That's what like this piece right here that's going across, not the blue. That's a door. So I just use those because, you know, it kind of looks cool with the building. But so if we take something like this, like these buildings here, and we maybe just kind of, you know, this is all just sort of like to give you guys an idea of, you know, how we may make it look. So we have a couple buildings there. Maybe got another one of these guys over here. Something sort of like that. You know, it really, we can do whatever we want. So something, you know, kind of like that. You'll see like there's just going to be, you know, a bunch of tall, kind of neon lit up skyscrapers here. And, you know, the other thing I like about this is, you know, I had this like little pit dug out, which I actually flattened it back out over here. So that way we can use this area a lot better. But I just think, I think it'll help with the whole sci-fi vibe. And I think it'll look cool, especially like right in the middle of the park, having, you know, having this like really super futuristic sci-fi cityscape kind of going with like tall skyscrapers and all that stuff. And, you know, nothing will be taller than these towers because these are, you know, what really need to draw your eye and stuff. But, you know, that's just kind of what I'm thinking there. Oh, game's lagging a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that quick, you know, kind of quick little update. You know, I mentioned in my last video that, you know, I might cut back on the time-lapse portions for this park just because, you know, I'm in an effort to try to get episodes out quicker for you, which I know it's been a couple weeks since that last episode, so I'm not even keeping up with that. But now that I kind of have settled on a theme for this area, hopefully that means videos can get out faster for you guys. And you know, the other thing I want to do as well is I want to get like a nice sign going across here. So what I need from you guys is, now that you've kind of seen the purpose of this roller coaster and, you know, the fact that it has the pulsing electricity on each tower, I need a name for the roller coaster, and we also need a name for this area of the park. So that's your guys' homework for, you know, this time until the next video. And yeah, hopefully you guys are into this. I'm excited about it. I'm, you know, happy to have settled finally on a theme. And yeah, so we should get back into back in the habit of Aurora Park because it is a cool park. I love the sci-fi vibe. And you guys remember when like all we had were like the very first episode in this series was on this building right here. And now look at the park. It's a bustling sci-fi park. Like you look at it from that view where you just see the tops of everything. So cool. So cool. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, be sure you guys are, leave me some suggestions on names. And yeah, also just like to mention, if you aren't following me on Twitch, I am doing an all live stream park. It's called Shady Gorge Park. You might have seen some of the videos here on YouTube. So if you're interested in catching those when they're live, the link is down in the description to my Twitch channel. And I'd always be happy to see you guys there and chat it up while we're, building live and stuff like that. Yeah, so be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I'm 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.